Coming up on KUJH News, we have an update on the Albert Wilson trial taking place in Douglas County.
The Lawrence City Council voted to return a cop prayer rock in downtown back to its tribe.
And how KU film and theater students are creating a project titled The Bells while adhering to COVID guidelines.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint at the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good afternoon and welcome to KUJH News. I'm Matt Mitchie.
And I'm Emily Johnson. A Douglas County judge has ordered a new trial for Albert Wilson, a 25-year-old former University of Kansas student convicted of rape.
Wilson sought a new trial on the basis that his court-appointed attorney provided ineffective assistance of counsel.
Wilson was 20 years old when he was accused of raping a 17-year-old that he met at a Lawrence bar. While behind bars, his case gained attention on social media.
Celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Devontae Harris, and Meek Mill took to social media to share their opinions on the case. The hashtag #FreeAlbertWilson has been used hundreds of times, with people asking for a change in the court's decision.
Josh Dubbin, one of Wilson's attorneys, explains how the legal team is feeling after the new decision was made by the court.
We're feeling better than we did 48 hours ago. You know, it's bittersweet because there is still an up-road hill to climb, and we're aware of that. So I'd say we're part of the way there. And, you know, there's definitely a sense of relief and hope. You know, there's a new DA in Douglas County. We're hopeful that she takes a fresh look at the evidence.
On Tuesday's hearing, Judge Sally Picorni will set Wilson's date for May 13th. He was released on a $100,000 bond from Douglas County Jail on Friday. The nation is still reacting to Monday's shooting at a Boulder, Colorado grocery store. This latest mass shooting has reignited the debate over gun control.
Hundreds of officers responded that day, including SWAT, surrounding the store and closing roads nearby. Now, many of the members of the community are looking for ways to come together as one.
Several vigils are planned for this evening, providing an opportunity for the community to heal. The Boulder Police Department released the names of all 10 victims, including one police officer.
In recent days, we have heard accounts from people who were in the store during that shooting. It's really hard to imagine how to react if put into a similar situation.
Next week, KUJH's Alex Worth talks to Captain Troy Squire of the Lawrence Police Department about what you should do in an active shooter situation.
According to Tuesday's COVID update released by Lawrence Douglas County Public Health, there are 215 active COVID cases in the county, which is 35 less than on Monday.
As Douglas County has struggled to keep up with the demand for COVID vaccines, the health department announced on March 11th that nearly 600 vaccines were ruined after they were accidentally refrozen.
This comes as AstraZeneca, an international pharmaceutical company, was scrutinized for releasing data about their vaccine. A group of medical experts claimed it was outdated information from earlier tests and not the most recent data. With commencement being held this spring for both the graduates of 2020 and 2021, students will have to register to be involved.
According to KU's commencement website, this year's event will require registration and guest tickets, which can both be obtained through KU Athletics' website. Student registration opens March 22nd and closes April 4th. The events will be taking place over 2 weekends in May to celebrate both classes. On May 16th, commencement exercises will be held for the class of 2021, and on May 23rd, the class for 2020 will finally attend their ceremony.
It is such great news to hear that students from both graduating classes are getting to experience a more normal commencement ceremony.
And I hope that as many students and families, if comfortable, are able to attend the celebrations.
The dream for a film student is to make it big in Hollywood, but what if they can't go there to see what the industry is really like? Stephanie Morales-Macedo has more.
Before COVID-19 impacted the University of Kansas, film students had the opportunity to go on a trip to Los Angeles during spring break to tour film studios and meet with KU film and television professionals. To ensure the safety of the students and professors, the trip was canceled and was moved virtually to Zoom. Senior Erica Weisner said that she was not happy when she first heard the news.
Personally, I thought it really sucked because the whole reason I kind of chose to go to KU was because you get that opportunity from KU is to go head to California and get to meet people and see all that.
Professor Robert Hurst, chair of the Film and Media Studies Department, did not want to take away a network opportunity from his students. What he found out was that having a virtual career week benefited more students since everyone can join instead of a select few.
And we've discovered there's actually kind of a benefit because more students can participate, which is great.
Film and television professionals from multiple cities, 2 of which have won Oscars, have been able to attend Career Week and show students that a film career can be started anywhere.
I think that we've discovered something here with COVID, which is really cool, which is to bring people into the classroom and from other parts of the country. It's really great.
Professor Herr said that he believes that film students will be able to go back to the Los Angeles trip, but first, students need to be able to come back to the classroom safely. For KUJH News, I'm Stephanie Morales-Macedo.
I know I personally would be really upset if a trip that I was looking forward to for 3 years got canceled. KUJH's Alexander Worth reported on potholes in the Lawrence area last month. Today, he brings us an update on the story with some new information.
Lawrence residents are no stranger to potholes littering the streets, especially in the winter.
Obviously, the winters are pretty harsh on the roads, and you'll really start to see potholes form.
As the winter turns to spring, potholes around the city are being filled at rapid speeds. Since March 1st, the city has already seen 2,001 potholes filled. Since January 1st, nearly 4,000 have been fixed. And last year, just over 19,000 potholes were fixed around the city. Carson said the city tries to get every reported pothole fixed within a month, but he also said this about less traveled roadways.
You know, we see those and we see those issues, but it's just trying to make a determination of how can we best use the taxpayers' dollars and devoting the funds towards those roads and stuff that are a little more traveled.
If you would like to report potholes, abandoned vehicles, or any other issues with roads in the city, visit lawrencekansas.org/listens.
Coming up on KUJH, we'll introduce you to Jared Nally, a member of the Miami tribe who is working to revive Native culture for current and future generations. Stay with us.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. An indigenous community is celebrating the return of a sacred stone after successfully petitioning the city of Lawrence, demanding for its return.
Matt, I know that you actually had the opportunity to directly work with this story. What was that experience like for you?
It was a really great experience. I've been able to talk to a lot of people who are really well informed on the situation, including the mayor of Lawrence. Let's take a look. If you're driving on the busy streets of downtown Lawrence, you might not notice the tiny park tucked beside City Hall, or the 23-ton rock at its core. But to the Kaw tribes who once lived in Kansas, the rock is of sacred significance.
Rock typically has a special meaning for Native peoples in general. Rocks predate us by millions of years. They usher us back into that time in which we were breathed into this world.
The rock, originally found in Topeka, was used by the Kaw for ceremonies and communicating prayers. After the tribe's forced removal to Oklahoma, the rock was stolen by the city of Lawrence. I'm here in Robinson Park, and behind me is the Big Red Rock itself. Now, you might notice there are 2 bronze plaques that have been grafted onto the rock surface. You might assume because of the rock's significance to the Kaw, it would honor them. However, the plaque only mentions the settlers that founded Lawrence, and in fact, there's no mention of the Kaw anywhere in the park. Now, almost a century after it was originally taken, Lawrence is trying to give it back.
We received an official letter from the Kaw Nation, and that was the start of the I guess, more formal process of returning the rock.
The Kaw Nation's letter requested that the rock be returned to Council Grove, Kansas, in a memorial park dedicated to one of the head chiefs of the Kaw.
Yeah, as soon as I learned, basically, that the rock was not ours, that the rock was taken from the Kaw Nation, it was not a hard decision to agree to return it to them. We took it from them, we should give it back.
For KUJH, I'm Matt Mitchie. The mayor plans to have the rock moved in time for a Kaw celebration in June.
It's nice to see Lawrence try to make up for past mistakes. Native cultural preservation was at the heart of this story. We spoke to a Native artisan who is trying to accomplish the same goal.
And I like that notion of not keeping track because it just takes
Jared
as long as it
Nally, a
takes.
member of the Miami
I
tribe, started
finger
weaving
weaving in fall of 2019, and I was using some books as reference from the Haskell Tammany Library. That fall I had started a Haskell Hand Weavers Club to kind of organize the people that do handcraft textile work, and a lot of community members in the last couple decades have been reviving our language and reviving culture along with it. And there's been a call to our community members to wake up in this moment. And my call back to the community was through textiles. It was something I was doing prior to any of my engagement or expression of my Mya identity. It definitely focuses my mind. The repetitive task of weaving really, it's almost a meditation. And so it is something that's been really helpful during the pandemic to do, and just because it allows me to enter that mind. But we're in an age where our generation is doing things that have no connection to our ancestors, whether it's video games or using digital tools. These are things we're developing for ourselves now. And it's nice to find moments of practice where you can connect yourself to your full lineage.
It was really cool to see Jared doing his finger weaving, and it's so interesting that he is going out of his way to revive this culture with others.
Students at the University of Kansas founded LFK Eats, a community fridge intended to aid food insecure people in the Lawrence area.
Located behind Latchkey Deli on Massachusetts Street, the first fridge is meant to symbolize a united Lawrence, filled by the community for the community. The fridge first opened to the public on March 14th, with the group planning to add 2 more fridges within the community in the coming months.
Being a mutual aid project, those who donate to the fridge may also take from it on any given day, playing directly into their slogan, "Solidarity, not charity."
After launching in mid-February, the group has raised over $1,100 from community donations alone, in addition to all the donations they have received.
Next, we're going to head over to weather to see a little tease of what it's like outside.
It's still pretty gloomy outside, and it's probably going to stay gloomy for the next couple of days. But for right now, temperatures for the rest of this week are going to be staying mild, and we're going to be seeing more on and off again rain showers, particularly at night. And also, we're going to see a nice, beautiful weekend again. A nice, beautiful weekend again for us. But I'll have more details about when we can expect this rain and how warm it's going to get this weekend. But back to you.
When we come back, we'll have the latest in entertainment and all things film in Lawrence. Stay with us.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. Celebrity breakups, out-of-control fans, and a never-before-seen Miss Doubtfire. The Kansas City native who was involved in a nominated film, No Man Land. Jordan Nicole has more.
Thanks, Emily. Since last week, there's been a lot of entertainment updates from celebrity breakups, out-of-control fans, and movies. Last week, shots were fired as Saweetie and Quavo called it quits after their short-lived relationship. The feud quickly spiraled out of control when the two took to Twitter to clarify Quavo's alleged cheating scandal. Saweetie tweeted, "I'm single. I've endured too much betrayal and hurt behind the scenes for a false narrative to be circulating that degrades my character. Presents don't band-aid scars, and the love isn't real when the intimacy is given to other women. I emotionally checked out a long time ago and have walked away with a deep sense of peace and freedom, excited for this new chapter of elevation." The Migos rapper responded by saying, "I had love for you and disappointed you for all you did. You are not the woman I thought you were. I wish you nothing but the best." From the looks of it, it looks like Saweetie and Quavo are no longer fans of each other. But speaking of fans, Dua Lipa was caught off guard by a fan in Mexico. The levitating singer was attacked by a fan while she was trying to make it to her van. Her security quickly stepped in to handle the situation. Although this was a scary moment for Dua Lipa, she wasn't hurt due to her security responding quickly. Now, if you love nostalgia, you might be surprised to hear that Mrs. Doubtfire has a never-before-seen version of the movie. The director of the film, Chris Columbus, confirms an R-rated version of the movie, but does not plan on releasing it anytime soon. What a bummer. Now, before I go, I have to talk about Nomadland being nominated for an Oscar. I couldn't be more proud because Kansas City native Peter Spears helped produce this film. He says one of the lovely gifts of the movie has been the ability to stop for a moment and wonder what lies down a different path, the road less traveled. Now that's all I have today for entertainment news. Be sure to stay with us for more Oscar updates in the weeks to come.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back. Filmmakers may face many challenges in the 21st century. In addition to the unusual problems that come up with production, the coronavirus has Hollywood on halt. Documenting the challenges that come with creating in 2021, our very own Matthew Johnstone followed the cast and crew of a short film titled The Bells.
Camera rolling. Sound rolling.
Making art is never easy. Combine that with a deadly pandemic, now every artist of every discipline is being tested like never before.
I'm on the set of The Bells with current and former KU theater and film students. Precautions have everybody on set wearing masks at all times aside from the talent when the cameras are rolling.
This is day 5 of filming out of 7. With the project nearly completed, I spoke to director Ishan Parikh about the challenges of creating a film in the age of COVID.
The pandemic in a lot of ways defines what you can and cannot do, and that's kind of frustrating. If I wanted to throw a party scene, I don't think I could right now. I found myself kind of creating the film around COVID, weirdly in a way.
As a precaution, the amount of crew is significantly reduced to its bare essentials. On this set you have the director, cinematographer, sound operator, hair and makeup, and of course, the talent.
As long as rules are established and everybody's acknowledging, the elephant in the room, I don't really feel too uncomfortable making movies or being on a set or being around other actors.
The Bells is set to release in late July. If you want to check out other projects by Ishan, go to his YouTube channel, Meta. For KUJHNews, I'm Matthew Johnstone.
Thanks, Matt. I'm definitely going to put The Bells on my watch list. Now, despite the challenges, it's great to see students and graduates of KU working through COVID. The film industry has certainly been hit hard by the pandemic. Not only is COVID affecting the production of films, but the film festivals where audience watch them. Lawrence's own Free State Film Festival is working with social distancing guidelines to make it work this summer. Lauren Hugo has the latest.
Lawrence, Kansas will be hosting another Free State Film Festival this summer with an amazing lineup of local and national talent bringing in film, music, and art. The festival brings the community and visitors together to celebrate diversity and entertain. It was founded by the Lawrence Arts Center director and filmmaker Marlo Angel in 2011.
Here at the Arts Center, we had a short film festival that we did under Rick Averill, and so it was so much fun and wonderful to see everybody connected inside the theater that I just presented the idea of doing a week-long event, not only with film, but with live music and comedy and getting other elements to feed off of the films and make a really fun experience for the community.
However, to accommodate CDC guidelines, the festival will be separated into 2 acts this year, the first act being June 21st.
During the summertime, we're going to do drive-in and outdoor movies. So some will be drive-in, where you stay in your vehicle and you see the film projected on a big screen and listen to your car radio. Then other screenings will be outdoor, like on a lawn, and will be socially distanced on a pod.
One of the many films to be screened include a former KU professor Kevin Wilmot's newest film, The 24th, and a movie made by a documentary class here at KU. While the second act is set to follow later in the fall, they plan to bring out special guest director John Waters, Boots Riley, and comedian Cameron Esposito to Lawrence to headline the festival in person. Locations for the screening include the Lead Center behind me. Tickets will be available May 1st. You can follow Free State Film Fest on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For KUJH, I'm Lauren Hugo.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm really looking forward to attending the Free State Film Festival this summer. I think it's going to be great. So next on KUJH, we'll have full weather forecast and the latest in sports. Stay with us.
Why doesn't my skin look like theirs? Why is my nose so big? I'm never gonna look like those girls.
Welcome back. My name is Halen Wilhite here with your full KUJH weather forecast for this evening. Current conditions right now in our viewing area, things are holding around 50 degrees for our area. 48 degrees in Leavenworth, 49 in Kansas City, 50 degrees in Ottawa. So not feeling too bad, honestly, but we're mostly going to be staying pretty mild for the rest of this evening as we have this blanket of clouds just covering our area and giving us no chance to see any kind of sunshine for even through tomorrow. But for right now in Lawrence, we are currently sitting at 49 degrees with cool overcast skies and winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And going through the rest of this evening, we are going to be still staying in the upper 40s, but clouds are still staying in our area and not even, again, as I mentioned before, not giving us any kind of chance for any kind of clearing, as we will be getting a passing rain shower later this evening. But this rain shower probably won't be coming in our area till probably a little after midnight, and will possibly be more scattered as we go on into Thursday morning and even into Thursday afternoon. So definitely might want to bring an umbrella for tomorrow, as we are still at a precipitation chance of 50%, but with a high of 52 degrees. So yeah, as I mentioned before, definitely want to bring a rain jacket and an umbrella if you're going to be going out for tomorrow. But for the rest of this week, though, things are starting to look a little bit better, but we still have a little bit more rain to go for Thursday and even Friday. But mostly this rain will be, again, we'll have another rain system moving in Friday night. But once we get into the weekend, we are looking absolutely beautiful with 66 degrees on Sunday, and check Monday out. 70 degrees. It is the first time we've actually seen a 70 degrees in our forecast. So it'll be definitely a beautiful day to get out and about and enjoy the sun while it lasts before we have another rain chance for Tuesday. But that's all I have for this weather's forecast. Coming up next, the latest in sports.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. We'll now send it over to Jenna Wilson with sports.
Thanks, Emily and Matt. It has been an awesome past few weeks cheering on our Jayhawks during the NCAA basketball tournament. Their season has officially come to an end after a tough loss to Southern California. Monday's loss ended one of the most challenging seasons in Kansas basketball history. The Trojans stormed past Kansas in an 85-51 victory after seizing a 41-20 lead at the half on Monday. In a press conference after the historic loss, Coach Self stated, "That's about as poor as we could play." Kansas missed its first 8 shots, most of them wide open looks, and never led during the game. The loss was especially tough for senior Marcus Garrett, who would like to take a stab at a professional career, be it in the NBA or overseas. Garrett does have the option of coming back to Kansas for one more run, but it looks like he is leaning towards leaving upon graduation. While recruiting will play a big role heading into next season, Coach Self plans to focus more on player development. With much questioning surrounding KU's football team, it looks like Kansas will have to wait an extra week before starting spring practices. The program announced last Thursday that the spring schedule has been pushed back to March 31st, 7 days later than what they previously planned. According to interim athletic director Kurt Watson, the reasoning for the delay is intended to give KU more time to hire a new athletic director and allow that person to evaluate the program more thoroughly. In a recent press release, Watson stated this decision was made simply on what is best for the football program during this interim period. Coach Jones is eager to get to work on the football field, but he agrees that delaying a week is the right decision. Not many KU football fans are in support of this decision, considering how unlikely it may be for a new athletic director to be in place within the next 7 days. According to NCAA, KU football will practice 15 times this spring, with the spring game that is scheduled for May 1st at David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. More details regarding the spring game and attendance plans are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. And lastly, let's give a big shout out to our men's baseball team, who have now won 7 straight games. The Jayhawks stayed hot Tuesday afternoon, topping the Lafayette Leopards 20-5 at Kameen Stadium. Kansas got the scoring started in the first inning, and Lafayette quickly tied the game in the bottom half of the inning. The Jayhawks went on to add 2 more in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, with Blaine Ray hitting his first home run of the season in the top of the 8th. The Jayhawks will go for their 8th straight win and a sweep of the Leopards in the 2-game series this afternoon. Another MLB season is fast approaching, and the countdown to opening day has already begun. KUJH sports reporter Mirena Seaver has more on what the upcoming season will look like for the Kansas City Royals and their fans.
Cardboard cutouts and computer-generated fan sounds were all too familiar for Major League Baseball fans and teams alike last season, as COVID-19 kept spectators out of the stands of regular season games. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City was no exception to this rule, but the Royals have recently announced that fans will be welcome this season, making baseball feel a little more normal. 10,000 fans will be allowed in for each home game in April, starting with opening day against the Rangers on April 1st. The Royals hope to increase that number each month if COVID safety guidelines allow. The Royals' safety squeeze plan outlines the enhanced health and safety measures being taken at Kauffman Stadium to safely welcome fans to games. Fans will sit in socially distanced pods and are required to wear masks inside the stadium at all times, except when actively eating or drinking. The full plan is available on the Royals website. Royals single game tickets went on sale to the general public at 10 o'clock this morning at royals.com/tickets. College students planning to catch a game at the K can buy $5 student tickets through the MLB Ballpark app and by filling out the form at royals.com/student night. First pitch of opening day against the Texas Rangers is at 3:10 p.m. April 1st. Mirena Seaver, KUJH.
Thank you, Mirena. It's looking like things will finally be getting back to normal by summer. That's all we have for sports this week, but next week we'll look at the KU Hockey Club and how they've dealt with COVID. Back to you, Emily and Matt.
Thanks, Jenna.
Since the pandemic began a year ago, many people who have not been able to work or make money, but one KU student found success by streaming his musical talents online.
Honestly, it just kind of happened on accident.
Last March, Jack Nadeau was a sportscaster getting ready for the NCAA tournament.
It's Malik Newman!
1 year later, he's a musician.
The blood is red and sweet as cherry wine.
We got a call right before the conference basketball tournament, like, hey, this ain't happening. They're shutting everything down.
All remaining conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament were canceled due to the pandemic. When Jack got home, he was looking to pass some time. Then he stumbled onto this streaming platform called Twitch.
I was like, this is kind of cool. And then in the corner of my screen, I saw that there was a music section of Twitch. And then after about a month, I had some people that I had met through Twitch. They were just like, hey, what's holding you back? Like, you told us you own a guitar and you've done a little singing in the past. Just like, give it a shot. So I kind of just jumped into it baptism by fire style, honestly.
And jump into it, he did. Performing covers of his favorite songs to his followers. Over 3,000 of them, to be exact. Jack's ultimate goal is still to become a sports broadcaster. But he says at this point, he wouldn't mind making a career in music.
If there's any opportunities for me down the line to get back into broadcasting and continue just doing music in my free time, I would love to do that.
This is Lane Gillespie reporting for KUJH.
That's KUJH News for March 24th.
To view our stories again or to share them with your friends, visit our website, tv.ku.edu, and check out all of our social media pages. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday at 4 o'clock p.m. for the latest news, weather, and sports.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.